Welcome to Money Order Maze, where we unpack why a seemingly guaranteed cash payment sometimes gets delayed or even denied. In this video, we will clarify the most common myths, explain the real reasons behind holds, and give you a step-by-step plan to verify and cash money orders confidently. As we move forward, expect practical tips, clear diagrams, and quick quizzes to test your understanding. Now let's start with what many people get wrong: the supposed 2-week delay. Here's the roadmap for today's video. First, we'll bust the myth of a supposed 14-day hold. Next, we'll examine the friction caused by policy conflicts between issuers and retailers. Then, we'll walk through an actionable verification plan. After that, we'll show you the best venues to cash a money order. We'll also highlight common scams and red flags. Finally, we'll reinforce the concepts with quick quizzes. With that in mind, let's debunk the 2-week delay claim. The most widespread misconception is the existence of a mandatory, issuer-imposed 14-day hold based solely on where a money order was purchased. In reality, legitimate money orders are often cashable immediately after verification. Any universal 2-week hold is highly uncommon. The only typical delays occur when a bank decides to verify a very large sum, or if their internal risk checks flag the transaction. If a recipient claims a fixed 2-week hold just because of the store of purchase, consider that a major warning sign. Now that we've addressed the myth, let's visualize the cashing process and where real holds can occur. This flowchart shows the typical path from purchase to cash. After the recipient presents the money order, the critical fork is the type of location. Banks and dedicated cashing stores usually verify with the issuer directly, while retail stores often insert an additional policy check. That store policy check can lead to acceptance or refusal based on internal rules, not necessarily the issuer's rules. After verification, if the amount is not large, funds are typically released immediately. If the amount is large, the bank may place a short risk-based hold. The key takeaway is that verification is central, and the venue you choose directly affects your experience. With the mechanics clear, let's test your understanding with a quick quiz. Quiz time. Question: is a 14-day hold mandatory just because the money order was purchased at a particular big box retailer? Options are: A. Yes, issuers always require 14 days. B. No, legitimate money orders are usually cashable upon verification. C. Only if the retailer says so. D. Only if the money order is under $500. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. Legitimate money orders are usually cashable upon verification, and a universal 14-day hold imposed by the issuer is uncommon. Any holds typically relate to bank risk policies for large sums, not where the money order was purchased. Next, let's explore why a store can deny cashing even when the issuer says the money order is valid. Here's the core tension. The issuer, such as a major money order company, may confirm that the instrument is valid and cashable anywhere that offers cashing services. However, the store where you attempt to cash it might have internal policies that favor their own proprietary service or their preferred partner. The result is a mismatch. The issuer says yes, but the store's policy says no. This is not fraud by default. It is often a local business rule. Nevertheless, it causes delays and frustration. To clarify further, let's compare these policies side by side. On the left, the issuer's perspective centers on authenticity and status. If the control number checks out and the instrument hasn't been cashed, they consider it cashable upon verification. On the right, the store's perspective is driven by internal rules, partnerships, and operational risk. A store may choose to cash only their partner's instruments, not a competitor's, even if they sell that competitor's product. This leads to denials that are policy-based rather than authenticity-based. Now that we understand the conflict, let's move to the most important part: your action plan to verify a money order immediately. Here's a clear checklist. First, call the issuer using the number listed on their official website, not a third-party directory. Second, provide the control number and exact amount. Third, ask 3 questions. Is the money order valid? Has it already been cashed? Where should it be cashed according to their network rules? Fourth, request a case ID or reference email as proof of guidance. Fifth, if the recipient still has difficulty, Take the money order to your bank with proper identification. Finally, continue tracking the status until the funds are deposited and available. With verification covered, let's discuss the best venues to cash a money order. Venue selection matters. Banks are usually the most reliable because they verify directly and have clear procedures. However, for large amounts, they might apply a short, risk-based hold. Dedicated cashing stores can be quick, but often charge fees. Pharmacies and gas stations sometimes provide cashing services with lower limits and variable rules, so call ahead. Retail stores are the most unpredictable, since internal policies can favor their own partners and result in refusals. Next, let's visualize the end-to-end journey with a sequence diagram to highlight roles and handoffs. This sequence diagram shows time-ordered interactions. The sender purchases the money order from the issuer and receives a control number. The recipient first tries a retail store, which performs a policy check that may result in refusal. The recipient then visits a bank, which contacts the issuer to verify authenticity and status. The issuer confirms validity. Depending on amount and risk, the bank either pays the recipient immediately or places a short hold. Finally, this sequence emphasizes that the issuer's validation and the bank's risk policy are distinct steps. Now, let's catalog common red flags in a quick table. This table summarizes 5 key red flags. First, a claimed universal 14-day hold contradicts typical issuer practice. Respond by calling the issuer to verify and get a case ID. Second, a retailer refusing to cash the instrument they sell often reflects internal policies. Head to a bank or a dedicated cashing location instead. Third, pressure to switch to an alternative payment method is a common scam marker. Pause and verify. Fourth, if the issuer reports the money order already cashed, you may be dealing with fraud. File a claim with the issuer and provide documentation. Fifth, a large amount may trigger a bank hold. That is risk-based and separate from issuer policy. With red flags in hand, let's discuss scam scenarios more directly. Several patterns suggest a scam. Unexpected delays coupled with demands for an alternative payment method attempt to separate you from your goods or money. Requests to ship high-value items before funds clear are a major warning sign. Claims that the issuer requires a fixed waiting period contradict standard practice and should prompt immediate verification. Silence or shifting excuses when asked for control numbers or confirmation details indicate avoidance. Finally, inconsistent statements about where the money order can be cashed point to confusion or deception. To reinforce the right move when you hit resistance, let's take another quick quiz. Question 2. If a valid money order is hard to cash at the purchase retailer, what is the best next step? Options are: A. Try a different cashier at the same store. B. Call the issuer to verify and then go to your personal bank. C. Void it yourself and resell the item immediately. D. Wait 14 days no matter what. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. Call the issuer to verify, confirm the status and instructions, and then go to your personal bank. This approach reduces confusion from store policies and leverages the bank's verification processes. Next, let's capture the core points to remember. These are the essentials. There is no universal 14-day issuer hold. Store policies can still deny valid instruments. Always call the issuer and track status using the control number. Prefer your bank or an official cashing venue over retail stores. Finally, be alert for scams that involve pressure, delay, and shifting payment requests. Next, let's present a concise markdown checklist you can screenshot and save. Here is a compact markdown-style checklist. Verify with the issuer using the control number. Document your interaction by asking for a case ID or confirmation email. Choose your venue wisely, preferably your bank. Expect that large amounts might trigger a short bank hold. Treat universal 14-day claims, pressure to change payment methods, and silence on verification as red flags. Track the instrument until the funds are truly available. Next, let's wrap up with a quick summary. In summary, most legitimate money orders can be cashed upon verification, and blanket 14-day holds are suspect. Denials commonly arise from store policies rather than issuer rules. The fastest route to clarity is verification via the control number. Banks are usually the best place to cash, with holds applied primarily to large sums. If difficulty persists, treat it as a potential scam and slow down to verify. Before we conclude, here is an important disclaimer. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. Policies and procedures vary by bank, retail store, jurisdiction, and issuer. Always verify using official channels, consult with your bank for current rules, and follow local regulations. We are not affiliated with any issuer or retailer mentioned. Now, let's close with a quick thank you and a call to action. Thanks for watching. If you found this guide useful, please like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more clear explanations. Tell us in the comments about your money order experiences, what worked, what didn't, and any tips we should include in future videos.